It would be easy content for me to trash Tian Tian here. In fact, after saying what I want to say, I think at least 1,000 people are unsubscribed. But Tian Tian chicken rice is objective. Welcome to the city with the best chicken rice, and to the Singaporeans watching this, welcome back home. We are starting central at somewhere really central, Far East Shopping Centre, on the 5th floor at Hainanese Delicacy. I got the usual, although I haven't been able to order this for a while, a drumstick rice with an extra portion of breast meat. This came really fast, like 7 seconds fast, so they have prep portions there already ready to go, and the plate is cool. Anyway, this has never happened before. I have never, in the middle of a series, coming back from an overseas arc, crave for the dish. I've been wanting to eat chicken rice since I came back, but I purposely didn't. I locked myself up in my room, full-time editing. And whatever I said about other countries maybe winning, I take it back. The biggest difference is the rice. I've repeated it so many times, but this savory oiliness, and at this place, Lily Fen being super nice rice grain, really nice texture, exactly what I'm looking for. You can see how plump the rice grain is, you can see how the rice grain falls off. In no other country did I finish my rice before even touching 20% of the chicken. Maybe earlier on in Singapore, north, south, east, west, I might have finished the meat first, but coming back from the journey, this rice tastes incredible. But we still need to talk about the meat. Silky smooth. This will be the question to answer going into this last leg of the series. Yes, broiler chickens will have a lower chicken flavor, but when you dress it up nicely with this flavor oil, it can compete. But more importantly, the silky smoothness of this, it goes so well with chicken rice. Look at the U test. This is a piece of breast meat, and look at the bend. And then we finally see jelly again. Oh, the homesickness is strong with this one. I can feel it very apparently. I am biased right now. I'll take this time to try to acclimatize, but I will tell you that this plate of chicken rice tastes amazing. I don't even have a miss. I've had... Okay, there are minor ones. The chili is a little bit sharp, like the ginger and the chili really jumps at you. Very raw, and the soup is not an MSG soup. There's some sort of gourd with it. No, that's the job. It's not a mince. And then maybe the ginger is a little bit watery. I would think that the more chicken rice you eat, your standard will go up. But after the recent overseas arc, I think my standards are scrambled. This tastes great. Let's move on to something that might not taste that great. We are now at Tian Tian chicken rice. I know, but we have to come here, right? By far the most popular chicken rice in Singapore, thanks to the GOAT Anthony Bourdain, and also by far the most controversial pick. Because number one, you cannot claim best chicken rice in this country, and number two is this thick sauce. We have seen a variety of sauces now, the light soya sauce, the super oily kind, or just chicken fat. This is thick gravy with probably some starch in it. This is their style, but we shan't speak on that first. We talk about the more important stuff. The rice actually looks kind of good. Let's give it a go. The worst thing about Tian Tian chicken rice is that it's touted the best. And in any domain that is highly competitive, but the judging criteria is taste, the crown is too heavy. For example, you might say the prettiest girl is Jennifer Lawrence, Asa, Chae Won, Suisei. No matter what you say, people won't agree with you. But objectively, it's still good chicken rice. It would be easy content for me to trash Tian Tian here. In fact, after saying what I want to say, I think at least 1,000 people are unsubscribed. But Tian Tian chicken rice is objectively good chicken rice. We start with the rice. Great texture. A really nice balance between sticky and Li Li Fen Ming. You can see how plump the rice grain is, similar to where we just came from. And yet, when you try to push them apart, there's just this slight bit of stickiness, letting them clump together. Very nice texture. The rice fragrance is very high. It's more on the aromatics, the ginger, the pandan. I think that counteracts the chicken very well. And if you want more objectivity, slap it in your face, jelly. Only Singaporeans can look at a chicken rice with jelly and say, this chicken rice is trash. The chili also high quality. You can see that it's of a thicker texture, and the sourness is very rounded. Nothing is too sharp or too harsh. Goes very well with the rice. However, I don't like the sauce. It doesn't taste like chicken rice. This is a sauce that you will get with your veggies, that thick Tian sauce. This tastes like oyster sauce. It is not the profile of Hainanese chicken rice, in my opinion. Although we have had different sauces, most of the sauces serve the same purpose. They just want to elevate the dish. So it's a little bit of fragrant oil, 香油, or a little bit of soy sauce. It is not to cover up the whole chicken. This does override the whole chicken, especially when they serve it with the broiler chicken breast, something that is lighter in flavor. If I blind taste tested this, I would not identify this as the chicken from chicken rice. But the second miss, it doesn't sound like good chicken rice. What does good chicken rice sound like? Anyone have a guess? In fact, you all heard it earlier this video. I hate the paper plate and utensils. I feel like the whole experience is so diminished. Everything is more flimsy, you don't get enough stopping power to cut the chicken, which, speaking of which, the butchering isn't too good today. Almost every other piece is connected to the next piece. You would think that chopping the chicken is very easy, right? It's not easy. So if the angle that you go down in is not correct, all the edge of the meat will stick together. But yeah, I don't like this. And I especially don't like this when this is the tourist-facing chicken rice. This is the chicken rice that is most well known, but we are using paper plate. It's like you invite some guests over to your house for dinner, like a nice sit-down dinner, and then you serve paper plates. Which is funny because this is the first paper plate chicken rice in the series. To stretch the analogy further, it will be like serving the guest paper plates, but every day at home you use the nice silverware. Okay, we'll be back. A little bit too subjective already. Now on to the next place, and y'all can probably guess which is the next chicken rice. Next up, we have Rival B, the Gary to Ash, the Sasuke to Naruto, Atai chicken rice, which almost everybody says is better. You will have heard the story by now. The chef from Atai used to work with Tian Tian, and then they had an altercation, and he decided to do it himself. This story is like the second most common in food. But anyway, chicken rice. We would expect the recipe to be similar given the backgrounds. But this time we got soup. I didn't mention it just now. Somehow for Tian Tian we didn't have soup. And here the rice, the chicken, even down to the utensils and the sauce are very similar to Tian Tian. But anyway, let's give this a go. Okay, I think I acclimatized already. Back to how ridiculously common it is to find tender breasts, perfectly cooked chicken, silky smooth, fragrant rice. But maybe after the third chicken rice, I'm back to being a Singaporean. I don't know if this is offensive, but I would say the blueprint of this chicken rice is very alike Tian Tian's. So the hits are repeated. Great chicken, nice rice, chili is good, but I think just for today, I prefer Tian Tian's. The rice today for Atai is wetter. It does not pop as much. It is not helped by the gravy that is poured directly on it. I feel like the fragrance of the rice isn't as strong today. The sauce is not as obnoxious as Tian Tian's. This is a lighter gravy that is more similar to what we have had so far in the series. It does not overwhelm, although I would say the base is still the same. It is still, I want to say, oyster sauce. They do have a soup, but I don't want to comment on it. And then again, it doesn't sound like good chicken rice. Plastic styrofoam utensils. How can this be allowed? How are the chicken rice in one of Singapore's most popular, most tourist-facing hawker centres allowed to serve the national dish like this? Why isn't our government doing something about this? Wow, I really back to being Singaporean already. Whoa. Okay, 3 good chicken rice, no doubt. But it's time for Cafe O'Clock. I'll see you guys there. We are now at Coffee Code. Chat, if you still remember, we were here during the stream and I got myself a pour over. This is from Ethiopia, a medium light roast, cranberry notes that I read. But anyway. Pour over is really a different world. It's a very different coffee. Do y'all think I should go down this rabbit hole and risk becoming a coffee snob? Or should Cafe O'Clock be more casual? I've heard many things about the irreversibility of going down this coffee snob route. What do you all want to see? Anyway, on to the rabbit hole that we are currently in. Can I tell you all something? Singapore chicken rice, really very nice. I would say I have acclimatized, but even now, I don't know whether the first place that we visited today, was it really that good? Or was I biased? I really cannot tell. You would think that after eating a few thousand plates of chicken rice, this might be easy. Like, you know it's good, but you don't know how good. After having the chickens today, the dilemma that I couldn't resolve from the previous episode, I feel like compromises must be made for the ideal chicken to go with chicken rice. The chickens that we have had today, sure they're on the bland side, but perhaps only with the broiler chicken can you get such consistent results, such predictable silkiness, smoothness. jelly. And then the compromise then will be to boost it again with the sauces. Which, speaking about sauces, I much prefer something like the first place, an accent kind of sauce, a sauce that might not make sense on its own, to just help the chicken flavor a bit. I feel like there's a line that the sauce must not cross, a line that Tian Tian sauce cross. And I want to repeat, chicken rice, according to my experience, can waver in quality from batch to batch. The science behind cooking rice is actually surprisingly complicated for something that we eat almost every day. But based on that, I would say today, Tian Tian's rice is actually one of the best in the series. This texture is very nice. For all the rice grains to be so intact, but then still having that chicken rice signature slightly sticky texture to it, actually impressive. I think Tian Tian chicken rice, no sauce, proper plate, actually competitive. 1 plate I'll walk for the chicken rice, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the chicken rice, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in the city for the chicken rice. And the chicken rice today gets 322. Like I said, I don't know whether the first one is actually that good. Maybe I'm tilted from coming back from Singapore. Maybe I'm tilted by the old school design of the place. But if I were to choose one chicken rice from today that I want to eat again, it's definitely the first place. I'm glad I put these 3 in part 1 of Central, because next week is probably where the series winner is at, according to what y'all told me. But for now, thank you all for watching. Go find yourself something good to eat. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!